This is about a couple who traveled to beautiful places for their YouTube channel, where they reviewed houses. Their channel, called Superhost, used to be really popular, but over time, fewer people watched their videos. Things were tough for them. In their next video, Teddy asks his wife Claire to marry him. Their next destination was a beautiful mountain house they wanted to stay in for a month, but it was always booked. This time, they finally got that house. Teddy and Claire enter the house and try to open the door, but the password on the main door isn't working. Claire keeps trying, but it won't budge. They try to call the owner of the house, but her phone is unreachable. So, they step out and start making videos for their channel. While they're filming, the owner of the house, named Rebecca, suddenly appears behind them. Both of them were terrified of her because her laugh was incredibly scary. She informs them, "I saw you on my security camera." They explain that the door isn't opening even with the password, to which she responds, "Oh yes, I remember. The previous guest didn't want to leave, so I changed the code and forgot to tell you the new one." She then enters the code and opens the door. The house was as beautiful as Claire and Teddy had heard. As Teddy starts admiring the house, Claire takes out her camera and tries to interview the owner, Rebecca, but she refuses. Claire suggests, "Maybe you should know that we're YouTubers. If you give us an interview and tell us about yourself, our subscribers might increase." Claire convinces Rebecca for the interview, and she starts recording. Just then, Teddy arrives and tells Rebecca that the bathroom flush isn't working. She says she fix it with some tools tomorrow morning and then leaves. After Rebecca leaves, Claire and Teddy begin recording the video of the house. They film everything from the bed to the inside of the oven. While recording, they also mention some strange things about the house, like there are no curtains on any window, there's a security camera, and even though there's no cat, there's a room made for one. Outside the store, it's written, "You cannot go inside here." They film everything, but when they watch it later, Claire doesn't like it. Still, she tells Teddy to upload it. However, there's poor signal there, so their video takes time to upload. They both come to the balcony and discuss their tough situation. Teddy reassures Claire that no matter what happens, they'll always be together. They then go to sleep. Claire falls asleep, but Teddy can't, so he gets up and checks the video on the laptop, which still hasn't been uploaded. He goes to the balcony for some fresh air. There, he sees Rebecca standing in the middle of the road. Her eyes shine in the dark, and from a distance, she waves to Teddy, but then Claire joins him. When Teddy looks back at the road, Rebecca is gone. Feeling uneasy about what he saw, Teddy is worried, but they eventually go back to sleep. In the morning, Teddy receives a message from YouTube informing him that their channel has been shut down. Claire suggests that maybe the video they made about the house caused their channel to be shut down. Claire calls the YouTube helpline, but Rebecca arrives to fix the bathroom flush. Despite seeing Claire on the phone, Rebecca starts talking to her. Claire tells her she's busy and asks her to go inside and talk to Teddy. As Rebecca comes inside and starts fixing the flush in the bathroom, she becomes visibly angry when it's not getting fixed. It seems like she's really upset and acting a bit crazy. But when Teddy arrives, she's completely fine. She apologizes to him, saying she's ashamed that he's facing difficulties there. She asks him not to say anything negative about her house on their YouTube channel and then leaves. Later, Teddy and Claire go to the jungle. Claire tells him that their channel is going to be shut down, and despite that, they're still making videos. She thinks it's not a wise decision. "We should quit this job," Claire says. Teddy responds, "Claire, I like making videos with you. I don't do this just for money." But Claire insists they should go back. After arguing, she leaves him and returns home. There, she checks all the pictures she took. As she checks the pictures, Claire notices that Rebecca's face looks a little scary and strange in every video. That same night, as they were sleeping, they wake up to a strange noise from outside. When they go to investigate, there's no one there. Claire tells Teddy to check the alarm, which is working fine. They hear sounds from the bathroom sometimes. When Teddy checks, he finds someone's fake teeth there, and the flush in the bathroom is also fixed. All these things start feeling very strange to him. Nonetheless, they eventually go back to sleep. When they wake up in the morning, they receive a message from YouTube informing them that their channel has been fixed. After reading the message, their mood improves. As they go downstairs, they find Rebecca making breakfast for both of them. She explains, "You had to face a lot of trouble in my house. That's why I thought I should make you a delicious breakfast." Claire and Teddy then have breakfast together with Rebecca. Claire really enjoys Rebecca's breakfast and starts to like everything about their stay. She jokingly thanks Rebecca while looking at the camera, and to their surprise, the camera responds with most welcome. They realize that Rebecca wasn't just watching them, but also listening to them. In their next video, they plan to talk about their eccentric host, Rebecca, but Claire worries that she might be listening in. So, Teddy decides to turn off the camera. As they start filming, a stone falls from the window, narrowly missing Teddy. When they both go out and see, there was another woman there, who was the co-owner of the house. She accuses them, saying, "Because of you, the demand for our house has decreased in the market. You said negative things about our house." She also admits to shutting down their channel. Rebecca arrives, and the woman complains to her that they are ruining their business. However, Rebecca refuses to listen to her and threatens to call the police if she doesn't leave. She was shouting at that woman a lot. That's why that woman goes away from there in fear. After she left, Rebecca says to them, "I have some free time. If you both want, you can take my interview." Rebecca gets a little worried sitting in front of the camera, but she was fine after a loud scream. When Teddy her a question, she says that, "This house belongs to my dad, and I believe that this house should not remain empty. That's why I keep renting this house, and I live in a small house nearby, so that I can keep an eye on this house. I miss that old couple the most, who had kept me with them." She started crying after telling about this. That's why Teddy also has to stop the interview here. When Claire and Teddy were watching the video at night, Claire says, "Don't you think that Rebecca talks like crazy? And I think we should make more videos of her. People will like her madness." Saying this, she goes to sleep. After a while, we see Rebecca from the window. She was looking at them in anger. Looking at her, it felt like she was able to hear everything about Claire and Teddy. The next morning, when they go for a walk in the jungle again, Teddy tells Claire to turn off the camera and says, "I love you very much." She says, "Then tell me this in front of everyone." But Teddy was angry with her for this, because he didn't want to tell the whole world about his life on social media. That's why he was going back home. When he starts going, Claire stops him. She says, "Forgive me, I was wrong. You think right." After this, when they both go home, they go and see their laptop was lying on the floor, in which Rebecca's interview was going on, and there was a letter nearby. Teddy finds all this strange. He says to Claire, "There is something strange in this house. We should go from here." But Claire was not ready to go. She says, "Teddy, please, let's stay here for a few more days. We will make very good videos here." But as soon as the security camera turns towards them, with the sound, she also changes her mind. And they both run and take all their stuff and sit in the car. Coming out of there, they thought themselves safe. But when they go a little further, they see Rebecca standing in the middle of the road, because of which they have to stop their car. She wasn't too worried to see them going. In fact, she says to them, "You guys bring the camera with me a little ahead. I want to give you a surprise." Teddy didn't want to go with her, but Claire says, "Let's go. We will get some more videos of Rebecca on this pretext." Claire says, "If our views increase, then we won't even need to borrow from anyone." So now they both take their camera and go behind her. Now at the beginning of the video, Rebecca speaks exactly the same as Claire and Teddy used to say. As they were going behind Rebecca, she was jumping in the jungle in a dangerous and strange way. Then she starts scaring them like crazy by laughing. Finally, they reach the place where Rebecca had kept a surprise for them. And the thing that surprised them was the second owner of the same house, who was tied up by Rebecca. Her hands and feet were tied up, and there was tape on her face. Now Rebecca takes out a knife and tells Claire to make a video. And she says, "I will be sorry for this. That you both didn't have much fun here. That's why this is a surprise for you." First, she takes off her jacket and hangs it on a tree. And then, apologizing to the second owner, she pierces the knife on her face. And then she keeps stabbing her in the stomach, because of which she died. Seeing all this, Claire and Teddy were so scared that they run away from there. Rebecca was recording herself in their camera like crazy, and then she follows them and runs after them. They both run and don't go to their car, because they felt that Rebecca must be waiting for them there. That's why they run back to the house again, and they go there and close the door. Now Teddy tries to call the police, but because of the signal, he had to go out again. But there they heard Rebecca's voice, who was following them like crazy. He quickly goes back inside the house. They now close the door. That's when they see that Rebecca was outside, who was looking at them in a scary way. She had the keys to their car in her hand. She was slowly moving towards them. When she comes to the door, Claire says to her, "Look, Whatever we saw in the jungle, we won't tell anyone about it. Please let us go from here." After hearing this, Rebecca left from there. That's when Claire goes to the store where it was forbidden to go, so that she can find another way out of this house. On the other hand, Teddy was keeping an eye on Rebecca. On going to the store, Claire sees a gold bed there, and some food items. She understood that Rebecca had lied to them, that she lives in the house nearby, but she used to stay here, and while staying here, she was keeping an eye on them through the camera. Claire was able to see on a big screen of the computer that Teddy is keeping an eye on Rebecca by lifting a rod. That's when he hears Rebecca's voice. She says that a man came to live with his wife in my house. I killed him because he didn't want me to live with him. Claire was not able to hear these things. That's when she sees that the internet is running very well here. That's when she makes a video and uploads it. That the police should be sent here soon. My life is in danger. This video was being uploaded just now. That's when Rebecca comes from behind. She comes and says that I have put microphones in this house. I can easily listen to all the tenants here. You used to call me crazy, didn't you? Teddy was still looking at the cameras outside. That's when he hears a noise from the store. It was Claire's scream. When he goes there and sees, Rebecca was holding Claire's hair tightly, and she was sitting with a knife to kill her. She cuts Claire's throat with a knife right in front of Teddy. Seeing this, Teddy runs outside to save himself. Rebecca was going behind him to catch him. That's when she also attacks him with a knife. Now because of the knife, Teddy was badly injured. He couldn't even walk properly. He stumbles and falls to the ground. That's when Rebecca came out through the secret door. Seeing her, Teddy runs again. Rebecca was also making videos behind him. She was also talking like a YouTuber that she has hunted to today. One is still left. Teddy had lost a lot of blood. He bumps into something on the way. When he sees, there was the same man and the cat's corpse. Those were killed by Rebecca earlier. Seeing all this, Teddy was even more scared. Now he runs towards his car, but the door of the car was closed. He also calls the police. That's when the car starts making sound loudly, because of which he was having trouble calling. The sounds of the car were coming from Rebecca's pressing the remote again and again. Rebecca wanted to confuse him like this until she reached him. When Rebecca reaches him, she sees that Teddy was just about to die sitting on the back of the car. Now Rebecca takes the ring out of Teddy's pocket first, and wears it on her finger, which he wanted to give to Claire. Then she kills him with a knife. She put his corpse in the trunk of the car, and came back to her house. She comes back and washes her hands full of blood. Then she takes the ring out of her hand, and puts it in her neck chain. Then she goes to the store and sees the video that Claire had made had been uploaded, in which she had asked for help. Seeing this, Rebecca gets a little worried. But after reading the comments of the viewers, she is a little reassured, because everyone was understanding that Claire is doing all this drama to increase her views, so that her video goes viral. No one was believing her. Seeing this, Rebecca gets happy. She left the video running on the computer, and went to put Claire's corpse in place while smiling. So this was the story of Rebecca Psycho, who used to kill every tenant who came to her house like this.